In this week's video, we're going to be talking about the Canon 1300D and is it still worth it? I'm Dave from TVR Creators and I make weekly videos on the best cameras for YouTubers and hobbyists. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. Okay, so the 1300D is a really nice entry-level camera, which is really nice, doesn't cost too much, and there will be a link to this and its younger brother in the description below. Why do I like this camera? Well, it's easy to use, it's light, interchangeable lenses because it is a digital SLR. It's very intuitive, it has a nice screen on the back. It's not a touch screen, but the menu is very easy to use. And what's really nice about this camera, if the lens, if the screen goes off, you can press that button there and it will take you straight back to your photos. Now this is definitely more of a first photography camera, though it does have a video setting. I wouldn't really recommend it, but as a photography camera it's really nice. And what's cool about this camera is obviously you get interchangeable lenses, and I would recommend if you're doing something, taking photos of things further away, or you want a nice sort of more interesting shot, I would definitely recommend something like the 75 to 300mm lens, which is really nice on this camera. And one little thing I would note is sometimes in lower light I would recommend maybe a slightly different lens, though the lens that comes with it is very nice, is the 18 to 55mm, which is really cool. And to zoom in is the question I've been asked a few times recently. You basically just roll it on the lens and off it goes, which is a really nice, and you know, most lenses do that. But if you're completely novice to this, it doesn't matter, that's just how you do it. And I recommend you put it into auto, but sometimes if the light's a bit lower, I find if you put it into manual and then you just focus on the front of the lens, that's just an easy way to get that perfect crisp shot, which is what you really want. Now I'd massively recommend this for maybe family holidays or your first camera, or maybe you're a hobbyist and you're just starting out. This camera is really nice, doesn't cost the earth. And the rolling settings on the front is really nice because it sets the settings for manual, or if you're taking pictures of plants, stuff like that, things that are closer to the camera. Also if you're doing panoramic shots and stuff like that, I can't say that word, which is really cool. But this camera is just so nice to use, and what comes with it, obviously it has a attachment on top for flash. You also have a zoom, so you get that really nice shot. There it goes, and it's really nice, and the sensor on it is nice as well. It does take some nice shots, and I would massively recommend a spare battery. It's always handy to have a spare battery, and play around with the camera. It has a nice flash on the top. And what I would massively recommend with this is get yourself a decent 64 gigabyte SD card and just take those pictures, click, off you go. I do massively recommend just messing around with this camera. There isn't really much to go wrong. It just looks scary at first. Obviously you press play there, and when you do that it will take you straight into the video or photos that you've taken, and you can literally use the buttons left and right there, and that will basically just take you through all the different photos and stuff like that. But what's really nice about this, ultimately, it's just so nice to use. It's easy to use, it doesn't cost the earth, and go and check it out in the description. If you're getting value so from this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to ask your questions. I will do my absolute best to answer them in the comments below. Now I just want to say one more thing about this camera. To change the lens, you press that little button there, you turn it slowly, don't be heavy-handed like me. After the lens comes, and then you can put on a different lens or put the old lens back on. However you want to carry it. I tend to put it in a nice big bag so it all just goes in like this. But if you want to keep the body separate from the lenses, you can do that easily as well. Just make sure you got all the right caps. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Now in a moment, I want to leave you 2 end cards. I'm going to bring you even more value. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time. You guys rock.